We had a hearing a year ago this month, and you'd think by now I'd have a better handle. It was basically the same groups of testifiers on this whole issue, and as Senator Laughlin says, this is confusing. I mean, I look at PBMs as you're the middleman, and that's layman's terms I'm using, but you're the middleman in the drug pricing and delivery system. So I don't really understand what makes your involvement in the process cheaper. I don't know what adding another layer of bureaucracy does. I think that I'm no further ahead now than I was a year ago, and I'm sorry I missed the most of the testimony of Mr. Panja, because I really, after listening to him, the part of the testimony I heard, and I didn't hear any of the questions, he made it sound like there wasn't a problem. And if you looked at his balance sheet and all the figures he provided us, they all seem very copacetic. But you know what? As my grandfather used to say, figures don't lie, but liars figure. And this gets more and more confusing with each layer of the onion that I peel back. And what Mr. Laughlin said is exactly right. This is a consumer issue. My consumers back home don't understand. They don't understand why I, as a state senator and committee chairman, can't do anything about it. So we're going to continue down this path. And I know we have some concerned people that sat in here today that I believe are, in the bottom line, are on my side. And this whole pattern changed, I think, when people started watching TV and self-diagnosing themselves. That started everything. Well, they're self-medicating, calling up their doctor and telling them what drug they're supposed to use. And what role, I look at the role that's been developed by the pharmaceutical industry across this country for decades. There's some blame, there's some fingers to point. I don't know if it's at my PBMs, I don't know. But this will not be probably the last hearing. And I think that going forward, we're going to have to find a better way, and by that I mean us, find a better way to get to the basic fundamental problem and issue, and that is the extravagant. We really didn't talk today about, I think the gentleman who was up here representing the pharmaceutical industry was talking about ordinary everyday drugs. Wasn't talking about the specialty drugs. And I don't think that was part of his formula. So we have a lot of work to do. I think this sheds some natural sunlight on this issue, but there's a lot more to do, and a lot of work ahead for all of us. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. Chairman.